Week 1 is officially in the books unless you're a Raiders or Ravens fan, in which case they'll play tonight. But we got a lot of news to get into. Like, first off, during the game on Thursday night between the Bucs and the Cowboys, Bucs cornerback Shawn Murphy-Bunting injured his arm. It came out that it was a dislocated elbow, not season-ending, according to Bruce Arians, but would put him on IR for at least, in my opinion, at least half the year, which is a big loss because he's so much of your defense. Because now you have to put Carlton Davis on the outside, and he's not the fastest guy in the world. He's decent, but like we saw what happened when Tyreek Hill went against him, it just didn't look very well. But who's faster than Tyreek Hill? Pretty much nobody. So it puts, in my opinion, it would put the Bucs in a really dangerous situation in terms of their secondary. Speaking of secondary, the Ravens officially put cornerback Marcus Peters and Gus Edwards on IR. This happened because on back-to-back plays in practice, Gus Edwards and Marcus Peters tore their ACLs. Now, if you're the Ravens, you looked at this, if you blanked out the whole last week and a half, 2 weeks, you're like, oh, they'd be okay. Well, no, they're not okay. Because they got put in a situation now, they've lost 3 running backs. You talk about losing J.K. Dobbins in the last preseason game, losing Justice Hill, their second running back, and then Gus Edwards they lose. And then on top of that, they lose their probably best corner by, not a long shot, but by quite a bit, in Marcus Peters. And so they were forced to, they brought on Latavius Murray, who was released by the Saints. They signed Le'Veon Bell to the practice squad, who we, according to John Harbaugh, could play tonight. It just puts him in a very interesting position. And so we just got to see what happens throughout this process. But right now the Ravens are plagued with knee injuries. It's just about, can they keep these guys around? Which, if you look on Le'Veon Bell's case, can he still make a good impact? He didn't play a lot when he was with the Kansas City Chiefs. He wasted his talent in New York with the Jets. His best years were in Pittsburgh. Can he do it with having Lamar Jackson in the backfield with him? Also, a quick note, Mark Andrews was taken off the field, rushed to the hospital. What was believed to be dehydration, which for him, he suffers from diabetes. That is a big thing if you don't have enough water when you have diabetes. So we all hope he's okay, and just prayers to him and his family that he'll be alright, and this is not a big deal and we can move on from this point. As I said before, the Ravens brought in Latavius Murray, signed Le'Veon Bell to the practice squad, which means that they think Latavius Murray could be the number 1 guy. So, and I think he is. I think he can be. He's never had that opportunity to be. He was in Minnesota when they had Adrian Peterson. So he didn't get a lot of opportunities. He goes to New Orleans, where Kamara was drafted before him. Was drafted the year he went, or the second, when was drafted the year before, so he wasn't going to get the opportunity to really play. And so now going to Baltimore, he may get that opportunity. It's probably between him and Le'Veon Bell, but we'll see where we're going. The Ravens also signed Tevin Coleman, the former 49er. So we just got to see where this goes. Now the Cowboys, they didn't get out with their own share of scrapes, as the Cowboys wide receiver Michael Gallup would be out for about 3 to 5 weeks with a calf strain. Now, he could be an IR candidate. Now, losing him is a big deal. But thank God the Cowboys they have very good depth at their wide receiver position. So CeeDee Lamb can go to the outside. They know Cedric Wilson can be a slot receiver. When Noah Brown plays, he can be that guy. So I don't see the Cowboys having to go outside for anyone, but who knows? They could. I doubt it, but it is indeed possible. More about the Cowboys. In a very strange situation, the Cowboys right tackle, La'el Collins, suspended for 5 games due to the fact of him missing his drug test. Now, let me explain this, because this is very convoluted. In the NFL, before regular season starts, you have to take a drug test. That is for street drugs. That's not for drugs during the regular season. That's street drugs. And that's what we believe this is. But during the regular season, if you get tested, it's for drugs that are commonly found in the NFL. Not street drugs. More supplements and other things like that. I suspect that La'el Collins is street drugs, but I'm not positive because he never took the tests. And it's not like he missed 1 or 2 tests, he missed 7. But the reason is, again, convoluted. He missed 7 tests, but because of COVID, they were, right when he was always about to test, the players were sent home, so he could never test. So it's very strange. So he was suspended 5 games, and to conflicting reports, one said that Collins tried to appeal, and that's the reason why he played against Tampa, and it was declined, and so he could not appeal again. It had to stand and take a 5-game suspension, which would take him out till week 7, except the Cowboys don't play week 7. They have their bye week. Or that he has not appealed it yet, and he is going to appeal. And his hopes are that it gets lifted. In my professional opinion, and this is not as a Cowboys fan, this is his first offense. He's been in the league 6-7 years. This is his first offense to be suspended. We've seen suspensions happen to first or second team guys in 1 or 2 games. So 5 games, I think the NFL took a stretch. Now, they've done that kind of before. That's why they have the appeal process. In my mind, I'm not sure he'll play against the Chargers. But in my professional opinion, I think if he's going to get... I don't think the suspension is lifted, but I think it's a shortened suspension, maybe 1 to 2 games, and a big fine. That's my opinion. Now, the question we have is Zach Martin then going to play tackle? Zach Martin, who's been on the COVID list for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, could not play against Tampa, which was a shame. Connor McGovern and Connor Williams did a great job, but it's not Zach Martin. So the question is, will they put Zach Martin to the offensive tackle position like they did against Minnesota and early on against Washington of last year? So it's a question that's still in the air. We don't know. Free agent cornerback Dre Kirkpatrick had worked out with the Texans, who he obviously played for the Cards, the Patriots, and walked out for the Patriots as well. The question is does Dre Kirkpatrick have anything left? And if he does, he hasn't shown it in nearly a year or 2.